Hi everyone. Okie doke. So I have decided that AI is here to stay. Now, I'm going to create my own content, but there are a lot of AI tools, for lack of a better word, that exist that can help a person start the research. You still have to take the time to review core sources, primary sources. You have to think through what you learn and analyze it yourself and not depend upon like chat GPT analysis, because if all you have to do is go into chat GPT, and I actually pay $20 a month right now, so I get like expanded services and I can do more work with ChatGPT than the free version. But if you take a topic that you know really, really well, and you go into ChatGPT and you ask it to look up information, analyze it, give you some ideas, thoughts, whatever, right? You'll quickly discover, especially, let me just say this. Choose a topic that you know really well, where your opinion runs counter to the mainstream narrative, but you, based upon your totally justifiable and like everyone would go, oh yeah, you actually really do know what you're talking about on this topic. You know that the truth is different than what is going to be found in mainstream narratives. That's what you have to do. And the reason I say this is because it's the litmus test that will show you that ChatGPT has to be limited to a tool that you use in certain ways, and you have to never trust its original generative idea efforts. Okay, boy. Okay, stay with me here. I don't have the language for this, right? So I have a series that I was working on, and then when I went to Korea, I realized that I couldn't quite do it justice while I was there. So I paused. Now I'm back, and it's related to empowering parents to understand the broad umbrella concepts and their unique role as parents with regard to vaccine medicine decisions, to help them to best navigate that complex topic. And I decided to use ChatGPT for a little bit of organizational, like I have it remember what I say. So it's like I was keeping notes and then asking it to sort of like reframe the concepts of like what I wanted to do just organizationally. Like, I'm basically prepping my life this August, and in September, my work schedule with my writing is going to start. My office will be pulled together. I'm not doing a relaunch of my Substack because I'm not changing the name, but right now what you're getting is sort of like my old format, and I've got some tools I'm going to be using. I've got some layout strategies which will improve the content, the reader experience, so on and so forth. And so I'm building towards this for like September launch. I've got a whole month to work on this. So I'm sitting there, and somehow ChatGPT thought that I was asking it to generate 10 topics on the vaccine topic. I wasn't. I had just mentioned I'm going to do this. And it's like, oh, here's 10 topics if you want to cover this issue and help people understand it. Boom, 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 boom. I was like, oh. And I looked at the 10 topics that it self-generated. And of course, they were mainstream narrative viewpoints and topics. And I was like, right, beautiful reminder there that ChatGPT is an efficient organizing tool, note taker, scribe, and it's like a person who knows nothing about a topic, and you say to them, oh, I want you to go research gun violence. If you say that to a human, they're not going to say, okay, doop, and go off and do it, because they're going to be like, that's an umbrella topic. What aspect of gun violence do you want me to research, right? You're a college student, let's say, and the teacher says, write a paper about gun violence. Can I write about any aspect, or do you have one in particular in mind? And the professor might be like, well, yeah, I want you to do this. And so that's where the human is using their AI program, ChatGPT, whatever it is. You're using it, but you have to be a smart wielder of that tool. Okay. So anyways, I've got this launch thing coming up in September. So I'm going to have, I really love what Dr. Malone does, which is not 100% consistent, but it's close to it. He's got his Friday funnies. So you know you're looking forward to on Friday. You're going to just get a list of these little like cartoons that have come out related to current events, usually political or something. And you just laugh. It's easy. And then he sometimes there's sort of like a running series of things related to homesteading or their horse business, their life in the country. And then there's the rolling series of things related to mRNA technology and, you know, the vaccines and what's going on. Right now, there's been a mild drop in content, I think because he just got put into like a new position. He's probably completely swamped. And then, you know, so I'm looking at these people who are doing things that I like. And I'm going to be coming up with what'll work for me is I want to know, on Friday, I've got blankety blank. On a Monday, I've got blankety blank. And on a Wednesday, I have a blankety blank. You know, whatever it's going to be. And I've been working on this actually for a few months. Motivational Mondays. You know, no, trust me, I won't call them that. Way too cliche, but you get the idea. So anyways, it's just been interesting exploring how a human being can retain their voice, their control of an AI tool. Yeah. So that's happening. And yeah, that's happening. I think I'm going to start a series related to, I don't know, possibly a series related to the surprising things that can happen on the way to your divorce. I'm not interested in sharing any information about my ex-husband. I'm a big, ironically, even though I put myself out there a lot, that's by choice. I'm a big believer in privacy, personal privacy, individual privacy. I don't really like talking about people. If they're a public figure, maybe a little bit, but even then I hesitate. Anyways, so that's coming. Some cool stuff will be coming in September. And I'm exploring AI, which is interesting. And it's a beautiful day. But something that, one of the things that's interesting about life, I'll talk about in the next Substack, because I've got all these little things going on in my life right now. Is my brain, it's my summer of adjustment. You know, the divorce went through on June 11th, and now I'm adjusting. But okay, I'll end now. I think everyone, here's what I'll say about AI. It's here to stay. You can be a literal Luddite, which would be a person who 130 years ago would have been like, I'm never going to give up my horse and carriage, and those cars are ridiculous. Well, so on one hand, you know, recognize things are changing, and you don't have to join the change, but if you attempt to avoid it, you'll just be sitting in some cabin in Montana at the end of a 20-mile dirt road trying to avoid what everyone else is doing, because the world is shifting, you know. And with smartphones landing in the pockets of people all over Asia, Africa, South America, anywhere you can imagine, you know, with the satellites that have been put up, everyone's got access. The reality is AI is actually going to become globally ubiquitous. So you can ignore it if you want. but it is here to stay. And it is going to change how humans live on planet Earth. So I think that the wiser choice is to start to study it, to understand it, to become the master of AI in your life. You want to know where it's going to show up in your life, how it's going to affect your life, your options for engagement, and you want to be making informed decisions, and you want to know when you're making a decision, and you want to know when you don't have a choice and it's going to happen whether you want it to or not. Just basically that AI is here to stay. It's going to have an effect. I suggest paying attention. Okay, bye.